using them as swords and some sort of blah. Cue title scene. This week on Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc, no matter what we do, we'll always be better than Card Fight Vanguard 5. Our characters have continued, sort of, kind of, not really. Okay, before getting into it, I just want to make one thing very clear. I'm really getting annoyed that we are, what, 16, 15 episodes in? Yugioh has no personality. I'm sorry. If there's any fans of the character out there, I apologize. And don't get me wrong, he's not really that bad. It's just that, well, if there's one thing very apparent in this episode, they have not written this character with really anything to him beyond his baseline drama. And what I mean by that is, listen to what he says in each episode. He never talks to people. Unfortunately, Yugioh really has fallen into the Eren Yeager and Kazuto club of having no personality, having no real development, and just having interesting things happen around you. Listen to how Yugioh talks. He never talks to anyone. He's either spouting one-liners or talking about his dreams or just giving exposition on something else. This is a serious problem and something that, again, thanks to the popularity of those other two shows, is becoming more and more common, and it's bad, especially getting off Yuma, who was such a well-written character. Go back and listen to Yuma. When he talks like a normal kid, and more importantly, he talks to people, not at people. I mean, look at this episode. Look at the way it started. At the beginning, when Yugioh and Yuzu are just sitting there eating lunch, that was your perfect opportunity to have Yugioh and her just talk. Just talk like real people. Talk about what's been going on in their lives. Take a minute or two to just show dialogue. Show something funny. Show something cute. Show something that the fan service people are going to get crazy over. You can do something like that in those 2 minutes. With Yu-Gi-Oh! Zale, they made sure to put time aside to show you that Yuma is just a normal kid. And with Yugioh, they've completely just decided to sideline this for constantly reminding you he's going to live up to his dad. And constantly reminding you he's a duelist, and constantly reminding you about the pendulums, and just everything is just going nowhere with this guy. And it's a shame, because I really like the idea that his duel ratio isn't perfect, but it's not like Yuma where it's a point that it's bad. This is supposed to be just a normal, average, everyday kid. I would like it if they would play him as one, but instead they're just pushing his personality aside so they can have him either spew exposition or focus on the other characters, all of which seem to be more interesting. This episode once again reiterates that Yuzu seems to actually be the protagonist of this series. She's the only one going through an arc. She's the only one whose personality is developing. And again, I really felt for her development in this episode. I'm really glad she's not one of the female characters out there where the only thing that matters to her is her probably boyfriend sort of role. She's an actual character with actual wants and needs and things going on in her life. And they're things that you can believe and things that I'm sure a lot of people remember happening to them when they were 14. She's being played very realistic and very nice when you consider that 10 episodes ago everyone was just calling her the next Sakura. So, yeah, I really like the idea that she wants to learn fusions. I'm glad they're acknowledging that no, we should learn other techniques and other summoning mechanics, not sticking to the same thing. I like the idea that Sawatori did call Yugioh that it's unfair that he's the only one with pendulums, because it is. And I just like the way everything else is being handled. This series is very solid. The LDS kids are cool, Reiji's cool. Even the little kid, I can start to see where his role is going and what type of things he will do. And it's okay for the other 3 brats to just give exposition. They don't need to be there. But when you're just having a protagonist who's very sidelined, very uninteresting, it just doesn't work. But holy shit, that ending was cool where they're jumping around and with the dual disc and like shing shing like swords, motherfucker. And you got the girl, and I like how she's got a lot of involvement in this, and I think that's really cool. And the whole teleportation thing. If any of you saw my Madoka Magica spoiler review with the Unknown Knight, he thinks that there might be like a time travel type element to this, where maybe it's a Yugioh from the future, another dimension Yugioh trying to save Yuzu or something. I don't know, I'm starting to get the feeling something happened to these kids when they were little. How awesome would that be if Yuzu is really what this plot is all about? If like her and this other Yugioh looking kid, they were like, I don't know, just this is pure speculation. Don't quote me on this. If they were friends when they were children, and maybe they were experimented on by LDS or a more dangerous bad guy, and somehow they got separated and her memory was wiped, and then she met Yugioh, or make it maybe Yugioh was in there too. Maybe make it that these two are like clones, like that black show on BBC America. That would be really cool. And you know what? They're setting it up that something cool like that could happen. And that part of it, I'm really glad to see is going somewhere very fast and getting very serious very fast how everything else is handled. But once again, Yuya, just take him or leave him. But what do you think? Do you like Yuya? Do you think he's like those other douchebags I mentioned? Comment below. And as always, click to like and click to subscribe because things are getting interesting.